Guys, today I want to tell you the question that I ask my clients when they are totally stuck and that you can ask yourself too. So sometimes we'll be partway through working through a problem with one of my clients and they will get totally inexplicably stuck. They'll know exactly what they're thinking that's causing the problem. They'll know exactly what they want to think and feel and do instead. And logically, it all makes sense to them. But when it comes time to actually apply that new thought in the moment and do something different, they just can't. This could look like I know that it's mostly my own inner critic that's stressing me out at work. And that if I celebrated my wins and built up my confidence, I could do better work. But when I sit down and try to actually do that, my brain really pushes back and refuses to do it. Or it could be something like, I know it's not really my job to know all the answers all the time, but I still get so panicky when someone asks me a question and I don't know the answer to it, even if it's totally unreasonable to even expect me to know it. Or something like, I know I need to just experiment and try a bunch of things to figure out how to do this, but I can't seem to get myself to take that first step. Or something like, I know I need to speak up and say what I really need in this situation. When the time comes, I keep staying quiet and going with the flow. When this happens, this is not your brain being crazy or stupid or inconvenient or self-sabotaging or any of those things. All your brain is ever trying to do is keep you safe. And it's trying to keep you safe per the logic that your brain has automatically constructed, probably a long time ago, about what's safe and what's dangerous. So this is the question I ask my clients when they get stuck like this. I ask them, what is the old thought protecting? Because the reason that your brain is so hooked to self-criticizing or trying to know everything or not experimenting or not speaking up for yourself is because your brain believes that this is the most effective way to achieve some goal that's very important to it. So what is that goal? That's what you have to figure out. It could be something like, I have to keep questioning and doubting myself because that's what keeps me sharp. If I stop, I'll get complacent and I'll start making mistakes. Or I have to try to know everything because that's how I stay relevant. If I don't know the answers, I'll stop being valuable to people. Or I can't experiment and just start trying things because what if I do it wrong or I make a mistake? If I make a mistake, everyone will think I'm stupid. Or I can't speak up for what I want because disagreement means disconnection. If I don't agree with what others want, it'll hurt my relationship with them. And guess what? All of those are great goals. Once you uncover the goal that your current thoughts are protecting, I want you to say to your brain, hell yes, I agree with you. We are going to achieve that goal, I promise. We are going to stay sharp and not get complacent or sloppy. We are going to stay relevant and be valuable to people. We are going to make sure that we don't look stupid, and we are going to make sure that this relationship stays strong. And then I want you to tell your brain, I know you think you found the best possible pathway to achieving that goal, but guess what? There might be an even better pathway. And then I want you to ask your brain the opposite question. How could celebrating myself and building up my confidence cause me to be even sharper and more on top of things? How could I be relevant and valuable to people even when I don't know everything? How could experimenting, getting messy, making mistakes make me look better in front of my peers, not worse? How could me being honest about what I want and need improve and strengthen this relationship? And don't just answer this question in theory. Answer it with specific examples. Find 3 to 5 specific times in your own life or in what you've observed in others that you were confident and self-assured and self-trusting, and that made you do better work. Or that you didn't know all the answers, but you were still relevant and still added value to those around you. Or that you got messy and made a bunch of mistakes, and that made people look at you with admiration, not derision. Or that you were brave and honest about what you needed, and that led to a better relationship with someone else. Concrete examples are the best way to show, not tell, your brain that there is an alternate, even better pathway to this incredibly important, high priority goal. And this is one of the things I love the most about my style of coaching. We start with the assumption that your wants are good and that every part of you makes sense. We start with the assumption that nothing is wrong with you. don't have stupid wants, you don't have an irrational brain, you are not sabotaging yourself. Your wants are 100% valid, understandable, and correct. And all that's happened is that some part of you has developed some logic about the best way to get what you want. Logic that did serve you well for some period of time. But that logic is now starting to get in the way of what you want instead of moving you closer towards it. Questioning and doubting yourself did keep you sharp until it started to trip you up and paralyze you. Knowing everything did keep you relevant until there was too much to know and it created impossible pressure on you. But we don't have to fix or correct anything about you. We just have to show your brain the evidence that there's an even better pathway to getting what you want. And then to do small, regular reps so your brain can get accustomed to this new way of doing things until the old logic is fully overwritten and you can go on your merry way, having expanded the number of ways that you can get what you want with more effective, less painful pathways. Because knowing what you want, knowing what would get you there, but not being able to get yourself to do it is a major recipe for feeling super stuck. And I don't want you to spend any more time feeling stuck because you're not alone. You are not the first or the only person to ever go through this. What you're going through is incredibly common, and there are repeatable tools, processes, and frameworks that can reliably get you unstuck and back on track starting today. Don't just take my word for it. Here's what one of my clients had to say. This is Ashley. She's a VP at a major financial institution. And she said, I realized I wasn't alone in a lot of my situations. In fact, what I was going through was very common. And I realized that there were tools that I could use to get out of this, and that I wasn't the first person in the world to go through this, and I'm not going to be the last. And I realized that Pooja has seen this before, and that she's very well equipped and familiar with how to troubleshoot these things. And that helped so much. So let's get started today. Go to the link above and book a free coaching consult. And if you want to read more client testimonials, you can check them out at my website, which I've also linked above.